Trump will support Israel to fight Iran and their proxies.
Israel and America stand shoulder to shoulder in countering the threat of Iran.
Speaking after their meeting in Jerusalem on Sunday, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu presented a united front on Iran.
We agreed that the Ayatollahs must not have nuclear weapons. And we also agreed that Iran's aggression in the region has to be rolled back.
The common theme in all of these challenges is Iran. It is the single greatest source of instability in the region.
Iran says it's enriching uranium for peaceful purposes. It has backed groups across the Middle East that describe themselves as the axis of resistance to Israel and U.S. influence in the region. That includes Hamas, the Hezbollah movement in Lebanon, and the Houthi movement in Yemen. Iran denies that it closely directs its proxies in their attacks, saying that they act on their own initiative. Over the 16 months since the Gaza war started, Israel has assassinated top leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah. Israel and Iran have exchanged limited retaliatory attacks. Israel launched its assault on Gaza after Hamas fighters stormed southern Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking more than 250 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. More than 48,000 people have been killed in Gaza, according to Palestinian health officials. Much of the enclave has been laid waste, and most of the territory's 2.3 million pre-war population has been displaced multiple times, humanitarian agencies say. Netanyahu thanked Rubio for backing Israel's policy in Gaza. He said Israel and the U.S. under President Donald Trump shared a common strategy in the Palestinian enclave, where a fragile ceasefire is in effect. Israel took delivery of a consignment of Mk-84 heavy bombs Saturday after Trump lifted a block placed on them by the previous administration of President Joe Biden. Later on Sunday, Netanyahu again praised U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to resettle Palestinians from Gaza.
Give them a choice, not forcible eviction, not ethnic cleansing.
Trump's call for Palestinians to emigrate from Gaza, including to Egypt and Jordan, has been widely condemned. Some critics say that amounts to ethnic cleansing. Trump has said that he wants the U.S. to take ownership of Gaza and rebuild it into the Riviera of the Middle East. Arab states are working to present an alternative vision for Gaza. The White House is still working on extending the 42-day ceasefire into a second phase. Trump's special Mideast envoy said Israel's cabinet is due to meet on Monday to discuss the issue.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has received a warm welcome in Israel on his first official visit as America's top diplomat. He held a joint conference with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and the atmosphere was extremely warm. Both men were embracing and voiced solidarity on a number of key issues, including President Donald Trump's controversial plan for the U.S. to take ownership over the Gaza Strip. Trump wants to remove Gaza's entire population, about 2 million Palestinians. He says the U.S. would then oversee a reconstruction and rehabilitation plan, but he says that Palestinians would not be allowed to move back afterwards. The Israelis have warmly embraced the plan, but it faces widespread international opposition, especially in the Arab world. Rubio's next stop is Saudi Arabia. This visit is very important. He'll be meeting with top Saudi officials. The Saudis already have come out against the Trump plan. We will get a much better idea of how strong that opposition is, or whether Trump's plan for Gaza really is viable.
Indeed, God is always saying something, and he will always protect his people who fear him. Stay connected as God continues to use his servant, Prophet Samson Amwatin. Visit the website at www.samtv18.net and connect with the man of God for prayers and more of the prophetic. And always remember that there is no night too dark that day cannot break, and you are too needed to be wasted.